J.Marion Sims, often hailed as the father of gynecology, holds a complex and profoundly controversial place in medical history. While his surgical innovations undeniably advanced the field of women's health, his methods, particularly his extensive experimentation on enslaved women, have cast a long and troubling shadow over his legacy. Born in 1813 in South Carolina, J.Marion Sims rose to prominence in the antebellum South. He established a private hospital in Montgomery, Alabama, where he began his work on vesicovaginal fistulas. Vesicovaginal fistulas, debilitating childbirth injuries resulting from obstructed labor, caused constant inconvenience and social isolation for afflicted women. Prior to Sims, no effective treatment existed. Sims recognized the need for a surgical solution and dedicated himself to finding one. The core of the controversy lies in Sims' experimental surgeries performed on enslaved women. Historical accounts, including Sims' own autobiography, The Story of My Life, document that he operated on at least a dozen enslaved women, most notably Anorka, Betsy, and Lucy, to perform his surgical technique. He performed these surgeries without anesthesia, as it was not yet widely adopted, and often without the woman's informed consent, if consent was even possible within the power dynamics of slavery. Sims described his procedure in detail in medical journals. He wrote of the agonizing pain he inflicted, yet justifying it as necessary for scientific progress. He recounted years of experimentation with multiple surgeries on the same woman. For example, Anorka reportedly endured 30 surgeries over several years. He detailed the struggles he faced, the failures he encountered, and the refinements he made to his surgical techniques. Historians like Vanessa Gamble and Diana Ramey Berry have thoroughly researched Sims' practices, highlighting the power imbalance inherent in the doctor-slave relationship. Enslaved women were considered property, and their bodies were at the disposal of their owners. Sims, working within the system, exploited these women for his own professional gain. The lack of anesthesia and the sheer number of surgeries inflicted demonstrate a callous disregard for their suffering, further compounded by the fact that these women were denied basic human rights. Understanding the historical context of slavery is crucial to grasping the gravity of Sims' action. Enslaved people were subjected to systemic violence and exploitation, devalued and dehumanized in countless ways. Medical racism was rampant. Prevalent beliefs held that black people were inherently more resistant to pain, less intelligent, and biologically different from white people. These racist attitudes influenced medical practices, contributing to the neglect and abuse of black patients. Sims himself operated within this framework. While he acknowledged the pain of his patients, he never questioned the institution of slavery or the exploitation of the enslaved people for medical research. His focus remained on perfecting his surgical techniques and achieving professional recognition. This highlights the deeply ingrained racism that underpinned his work and the medical practices of the era. Sims' eventual success in developing a surgical cure for vesicovaginal fistulas is undeniable. He later established a hospital in New York and gained international recognition for his expertise. His surgical technique significantly improved the lives of countless women suffering from the debilitating condition. However, this legacy is inextricably linked to his unethical experimentation on enslaved women. The modern medical community grapples with this legacy. While acknowledging his contributions of gynecology, many institutions and organizations have re-evaluated their relationship with Sims' work. Statues erected in his honor have been removed, and efforts have been made to incorporate critical perspectives on his work into medical education. Sims' story raises fundamental ethical questions that continue to resonate today. Could enslaved women truly provide informed consent given their lack of autonomy and the coercive nature of slavery? Did the potential benefits of Sims' research outweigh the harm inflicted on his enslaved patients? Did Sims' exploitation of vulnerable individuals violate principles of justice and equity? How do past injustices inform present day healthcare disparities and distrust within the marginalized communities?